Evan, were you scared?
Yeah, a little bit.
What about you?
Was I scared?
Yeah, some parts.
On that door.
Ghost Hard!
No, this is her area.
Oh yeah, there are a lot
Ooh.
of scratched into it.
This is Nina's area where, I don't know, I guess this used to be the elevator shaft, I think. We are sitting in Nina's booth, the elevator shaft, once upon a time where she was shoved to her death, quite sadly. Supposedly one of these bricks has her name on it, but we did not find that. But
I found red rum.
Red rum is here, yeah. And Chud right there. And Chud. Let's see if we can find Fart. We found Fart at
Oh, wait, that's it. Amazing.
Nina, we found it. Oh, good job, Gracie. Yeah, you go first.
Story begins with a delivery guy who was here just within the past couple of years doing his usual route, includes Old Town Pizza, and he's finishing up unloading his kegs in this area. He starts to walk towards the stairs that we just came down, and he starts to smell some perfume. So he thought he was down here alone. He looks around, and he sees a woman dressed all in black standing at the bottom of the stairway. So this woman turns to look at him, and then she turns to look back up the stairs, slowly walks up, vanishes at the top before the doorway.
Even the sounds above us are kind of creepy. Yeah.
I did smell a floral smell earlier.
Did you?
It could have been the trees outside, so.
That's true. There is a lot of floral stuff going on. You could have also smelled Nina. It's possible.
This video, this one.
Yeah, creepy down.
Creepy till 3 o'clock.
Sorry.
That's creepy. And there's like a creepy mirror right there. Going deeper into the darkness.
Crimping, it means that you're forcing a man to become a sailor. And this happened quite a lot back in the day, especially here in Portland. We were considered the Shanghai capital of the world. But one man who was crimped was sent to Shanghai, China. And we were doing lots of trade with Shanghai, China at the time, so this is where lots of men were being sent. And so he started to say he was Shanghai. This is how it caught on. But this was very, very big in Portland because a lot of the time when a captain would arrive here on a ship after a long sailing voyage, he would have many members of his crew, many of the sailors, try to desert their positions.
Ooh. Yeah. Wow. Evan, put that lantern by your face.
Like
A
that?
little light. Oh, we're going more. Oh my goodness. Wow. But the Shanghai tunnels themselves do have there's a lot of dark history there because it was used for transportation to come to and from the ports, but there were also people who would use it to Shanghai people, which was essentially kidnapping them and selling them into being sailors against their will on the boats sailing from Portland to Shanghai.
To us. will be our next point of entry. Do I have a brave sacrificing volunteer?
How many do you want?
One to start, but you're all going.
Let's push it open.
Yes. Ooh. Whoever wants to go next. We'll be right behind you.
Uh-oh, Junior's chair's here.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to flash?
Haley,
What were you checking out?
Just the abandoned Hobo's restaurant. You filming
We all
or
get the
photo?
photo up.
No, I'm filming.
Oh, okay.
So where are you, Evan?
We are under the old Hobo's restaurant in the old walk-in.
It's a freezer, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I found some beer.
He was walking down the street and he stumbled upon an open trap door in the sidewalk. He's a curious guy, so he decides he's gonna go check it out. And he finds but we do have this creepy elevator right here.
We were in. We were like in the room where the high chair was, but like we were kind of like in the hallway in between there and then where that freezer was. But we were like waiting and and we were listening to the tour guide, and like you were kind of off to the side behind me, and so was Evan. And I felt someone it felt like someone kind of like did that on my shirt, like tugged it. And so I turned around and like look at Evan and be like, like knock it off. But he wasn't like right behind
No,
me. He was
I was.
over that
Yeah,
way,
he was on the other side of me.
other side of you, and obviously you weren't even like there.
There was
either.
no one behind you.
So that was really weird. But I definitely felt like someone had like grabbed. It wasn't just like a rustling. It felt like a little tug.
What about you? What was your scariest part?
I'd say about midway through, I had something similar happen. I felt stomach rumbling. And
And then you farted.
my anus rectoral area. I'm not sure what happened. Something came out of me.
Truth be told, I did get a stomach ache in that seance
I kind
room.
of did too. I felt like the one room that really like gave me the EBGBs is not that when we were in the seance room, it wasn't the seance room, but the room that was to the left that we went into. For some reason, I kept hearing like tapping. It was probably from people above, but it was just giving me a vibe. And then, like I told you, out of the corner of my eye, one time it felt like I saw something through that.
You probably did.
But it was so quick, and then like by the time I could really look, I tried to film, but I don't think I got anything. And then when we were in the room with the speakeasy, I also saw like it wasn't a shadow figure, but it felt like the shadow on the wall like all of a sudden like changed and went down and went back up. And then I filmed that and couldn't get anything either, so I can't like any proof. You just have to go off my testimony. But I kept seeing like things in my corner of my eyes.
Just sensing stuff. Yeah.
Just like things in the corners.
I had a stomach ache, but unlike you, I'm classy, so I didn't fart in the Shanghai tunnels.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
That was
We're
your
not sure if it's a
perfume.
fart or not.
Yeah. I did hear a really loud fart sound, and I truly wondered.
Some kind of demon.
Oh, we heard that loud bang too, but it could have been like someone walking over. But that was like
It didn't sound like the other
It didn't sound like
footsteps.
walking,
It was a
like-
slam. Yeah.
Yeah.
That scared me good, to be honest.
We
Yeah.
were all like.
There's also a boarded up stairway behind the opium den. But the opium dens typically had bunk beds like the ones you see in the back there. And the bottom bunk at the opium den was the most coveted, the most expensive bunk. This is kind of a cute photo opportunity. You don't have to be up the stairs. You could take the lantern and like look at them. I really like the bitterness, but this one's not very bitter compared to a lot of IPAs. I quite like it. Alright. It's very recently, we were licensed to do our beer tasting right around the corner here in our very own underground speakeasy. Cool. You happy to
Very nice.
What is this contraband that you are holding?
Thought I would take a souvenir
Where did you find that?
on the ground.
What if it's haunted?
It might be.
Then what?
Then we're in trouble.
What about you, Evan? Did you have any experiences? You wandered off a few times. Did you see anything or feel anything?
I saw a couple of things. I felt a couple of things. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You heard it here first, folks.
I did get a stomach ache in the seance room, like to where I was like, am I going to need to like leave the tour? Because I never have felt like nauseous before in any other location. So that was my first time like getting physically sick in a place, but it's hard to say that that was supernatural. It could have been supernatural, but there's also like a lot of, I mean, you're underground and there's a lot of like
Dust.
wires overhead and dust. And
Yeah.
honestly, some areas just smelled like death.
Yeah, I did get a
smell it.
stomach ache too, though, but it was in a different spot. It was where the holding cells were, where they kept the sailors who were going to be shanghaied. I felt a wee bit nauseous, but yeah, same thing. It could have been just being off for whatever reason. So I don't know. It's not 100% concrete proof, but it was weird.
It definitely did have creepy vibes for sure. And I did feel nauseous.
I did have some technology issues as well, like minor things, like I would force the flash and it wouldn't flash, or I like zoomed into one thing on my video when I went to zoom back out, like suddenly everything like went
black.
pitch black. I mean, you could still see like a little bit of light, but it was like someone had like almost like turned the lights off in the room.
Yeah. A couple of times I would take my phone in my pocket and like Flappy Bird would be open. I score. Wasn't me.
Yeah, the ghosts are very good at Flappy Bird, which is good news for Evan because he sucks. Okay, so how many bacon strips?
I would say 2. Like nothing really concretely like or outwardly terrifying happened, but it definitely had creepy vibes, like a feel. And then there was a lot of little things like seeing shadows in the corner of your eyes, or feeling a little tug on the fabric of your shirt. But it didn't happen the whole time. It was just here and there. So I would say 2, a little bit more than your average place, but not enough where you're going to be terrified. I would go back there for sure.
Yeah, agreed. What about you, Evan?
2.1, I'd say.
Because you want to one-up Gracie. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, I would also give it 2. I felt like the activity wasn't nearly as much as some of the other places that we've been by any means, but just the creepy factor and like I said, that stomach ache really did unsettle me. And I think the location itself is very unsettling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very dark for a lot of the tour. You're in the dark, you're under the city, but I don't think there's anything to say that it's like the scariest location we've ever been or anything, and definitely not the most ghostly, but absolutely amazing tour. I would definitely check it out.
Yeah. And it was fun. It was definitely different and interesting, and it had a more spooky ambiance than some of the other places we've gone to. So
Definitely.
I think it's worth going to, but this time around, nothing too concrete.
They were good. A lot of tunnels, very tunnely. Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks. Shanghai tunnels, very tunnely.
Go up high.